Welcome to the ultimate gaming realm, and this is your curator, Dixon, logging on. Glory to Arstotzka. Papers, Please. A dystopian document thriller. Papers, Please is an indie puzzle game that came out over 3 years ago. Believe it or not, I finally got into playing the game, and boy, I was quite impressed. The game was addictive and enjoyable, just like Tetris was. But Tetris is a basic type of puzzle game where you're trying to fill in as much lines as you can without going over the top. And Papers, Please is a puzzle game that has a story that's blended in with a spy thriller adventure, which your protagonist is an immigration officer on duty at a border checkpoint that's in the fictional dystopian Eastern European country, Arstotzka. Papers, Please is set between November and December of 1982, during the Cold War. How do you get the job? Well, your name was pulled from the October labor lottery, which gets you the job in the Ministry of Admission at the Dresden border checkpoint, and they provide you with a special roof over your family's head, a Class 8 apartment in East Dresden. And the purpose behind the job as an immigration officer is to check everyone's passport to see if their entry is accepted or denied. Depending on how you examine the passport and the other required documents, and depending on what you can see or if you think the info is correct or not. If you think it's correct, then use the green stamp to accept, or if you think it's incorrect, then use the red stamp to deny. But to warn you, you can't be right all the time, because if you get one wrong, you get a citation, which you want to avoid as much as possible. So my best recommendation is to examine the papers thoroughly. I know speed is also a recommendation so you can get more entrance done, but your accuracy seems to be more important. And your job is a daily job, but constantly, rules will always change most of the time every day, where they throw more challenges at your direction with other paperwork like entry permits or ID cards or work permits and etc. And these rules change for many reasons. For instance, terrorist attacks, wanted criminals, clever criminals, or secret organizations get involved, and for more advanced security purposes. And come to think of it, Papers, Please in another way is kinda a daily work simulator, where you have to keep up with the job and do it well to help provide your family. Now, your job as an immigration officer does sound like a simple job. If that's what you're thinking, well, think again, because your job can turn out to be more extremely dangerous than it looks. Because there's a Murphy's Law that comes with the territory, meaning shit can happen at any time, and shit will happen at any time. You know that's not the right words for Murphy's Law, but kinda similar. I'm mainly talking about terrorist attacks. These suicidal terrorists are willing to risk their own lives for their own country to destroy ours. And some of these terrorists at first get through our checkpoint with legit paperwork. So that's why it's so important to increase our requirements and our defense tactics. It's extremely important to check with every entrant before you decide to approve them from entering through the checkpoint. And it's also important to make sure every entrant's passport and other documents matches with everything before you let them through. Depending on what situation it is or how suspicious this entrant is, there will be times where you have to do some fingerprinting to see if the prints matches or not. Also taking pictures of any suspicious individual when they're half naked to see if there's any signs of weapons or contraband. And there will be times where you have to detain a certain individual due to any connection of suspicious activity. And later in the game you will have access to a sniper rifle for intruders, either using a tranquilizer rifle or using a live ammunition rifle. Now my question is, why not just kill these bastards? But of course these assholes might have useful information if we keep them alive. So the tranquilizer rifle is the best option for that part. The number of days, which can be known as levels, is 31. And the story does progress on your actions, like the number of citations you received after messing up on an entry. But sometimes it's okay to get a citation when bending rules for a reason, like doing favors for somebody. And plus you do get a bribe. But I wouldn't recommend doing this all the time. And sometimes you gotta be very careful on what you do. Like when it comes to being careful, this secret organization is going to make an attempt on getting inside your head to buy you out. But chances are the authority of Arstotzka will find out sooner or later, if you decide to work with them. So you definitely must have to think carefully before you decide what to do, if you decide to take that route or not. I can tell you one thing for sure, this is what I love about Papers, Please. It's a puzzle game, a work simulator, a spy thriller, and kind of an RPG strategic story. And Papers, Please can be addictively fun. However, Papers, Please can also be challenging, especially at the normal difficulty setting. So for starters, I would go for the easy difficulty, because you're not only doing the job as a job to advance to the next level, you're also doing this job to take care of your family and the upkeep on your rent, groceries, and utility bills. Oh boy. Of course I can imagine how stressful it would be in real life around that time period. As I said, Papers, Please can be a challenging game, but Papers, Please can be a very enjoyable game. And it's highly recommended. This is Dixon of the Ultimate Gamer Realm, logging off. And glory to Arstotzka!